Hey guys and dolls, so today, well right now, I'm making another video for you and we're going to be talking about Amber Heard and what her problem is, okay, because they are in court and that sort of thing. So, um, Johnny Depp was married to, I think they're divorced, I'm not sure, but he was married to Amber Heard, and she is incredibly nasty, incredibly hateful, incredibly abusive, and felt justified in being that way. All right. He said this is coming directly from the testimony when he was on the stand. He said that he would lock himself in the bathroom to avoid her. He wasn't allowed to have a voice. Things he would say would be used as ammunition against him. What does that remind you of? Y'all know what I'm talking about. He stated that he was in a relationship with his mother. She treated him like she was his mother. He dealt with anger and hatred from her. Arguments would escalate to violence. Shouting, throwing the TV remote at his head, threw a glass of wine in his face. His vulnerabilities were used as weapons against him. What does that remind you of? Starts with an N, ends with a T. She would tell me what a bad father I was, and I had no idea how to parent. Everything he did was wrong. His main goal was to retreat. She was sweet for the first year and a half. He didn't want to fail. She said, I wasn't punching you, I was hitting you. And that's better. How? So she's telling him, projection, right? She's telling him that he has no idea how to parent. Meanwhile, she is physically abusing him and verbally abusing him, throwing things at him, punching him. And your kids are seeing that. So how does that make you a good parent? I'm just curious. You're teaching your kids how to have dysfunctional relationships. That doesn't make you a good parent, okay? Bitch, it doesn't make you a good parent. I can't stand that. Good men get ruined behind women like that. Good women get ruined behind men like that. People get ruined behind poisonous, toxic people like that. You have no business hitting your partner, period. Whether it's a punch, a slap, it makes no freaking difference, okay? So he did what a lot of people, a lot of survivors do of narc abuse. They withdraw, they go quiet, they silence who they are. They become a shell of who they used to be because they're trying to keep the peace, which isn't going to work, because when the merry-go-round comes back to the crazy page, there's nothing that can be said or done that will fix it. Absolutely nothing that will prevent it, fix it, none of that. So, it's just a mess. I'm going to look something up real quick. If I can get this thing to work. Okay. If I can get this thing to work. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Depp is also facing a lawsuit that could, I guess, because I said, why is he in court now? It said he's also facing a lawsuit filed by a member of a film crew who alleges he was assaulted in 2018. The attorneys are trying to derail Depp's libel lawsuit against Heard that alleges that she falsely portrayed him as a domestic abuser and ruined his lucrative acting career. Um, uh, so he has been involved with alcohol. He has been involved with drugs. Um, uh, so the two of them together are extremely toxic, obviously. Um, so I don't know. I don't really know a lot about them, but I do know that the little bit that I've heard about her, you already know what that symptomology is. That is blatant narcissism. So she was on her best behavior for about a year and a half before she revealed who she is. Some narcs cannot hold out that long. You're gonna see who they are within weeks to months because they just can't hold back. So there's a lot. I mean, a lot on here. It says he has violent language and text, angry outbursts captured on audio and video. If you want to read it, which is like a mile long, it's on deadline.com. Johnny Depp's drugs and booze and his threatening text. It's on deadline.com. Okay. It's going to be backwards, but deadline.com. And I mean, I'm not justifying anything that he's done, but you also have a situation of reactive abuse, which doesn't. I don't really like the term reactive abuse because it seems like you're being abusive because your partner's abusive, but in reality, you're in survivor mode and you're doing whatever you can to protect yourself, and you're doing whatever you can to keep your sanity, to hold your relationship together, even though you know there is no point to holding it together. There is absolutely no point to it, because after this person acts like you're the best thing in the world, you get demoted. After they use your ass up for everything they want, they get bored and they've sucked everything out of you. And so now you're getting a demotion. You went from the best thing in the world, that I love you so much, to I don't understand why you're still breathing. Why aren't you dead? Why? So everything that you see, and we've talked about this time and time again, everything you see in the beginning is fake. Everything you see is fake. Nothing is real. Everything is fake. The phony bit that they do is so, like I've said before, diabolical. I mean, Hollywood would look at their narcissist phoniness and go, damn, you're good. I mean, because they are amazingly good. They have been lying and cheating and manipulating ever since they were young. So they're good at it. If you do something often enough, you get good at it. And they're really good at blending in with society to a certain degree, even though some of them are so socially awkward that everybody thinks they're weird. Nobody really deals with them. They know that they don't fit in society, even though they're trying to force themselves to fit in. They don't fit in anyway. So they're basically like incels or like social rejects, societal rejects. And then others, and I've told guys this so many times, you cannot let your hormones dictate who you're going to be with. A woman could be drop dead gorgeous. She could be the most beautiful person you've ever seen in your life, and she could be deadly. She could be deadly. She could be dangerous for you mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, financially. She could destroy you. So her looks and freaky deaky sex swinging from the ceiling, okay, that can only go but so far in life. Life has to, there's got to be more to the scenario than attractiveness and great sex. I mean, you have to protect your future, guys. You have to protect your future. You cannot limit yourself to two things, and those are the only requirements I have: freaky deaky sex and beautiful. You can't do that. You have to be more mature than that. You know, like I said, we expect little boys to go, oh my God, oh my God, she's beautiful. Oh my God, look at those boobs. You know, we expect that from a child. When you become an adult, you need to have a more mature, um, you have to have more mature requirements than just beauty and great sex. There just has to be a whole lot more to it than that. Because this same person who's freaky deakying you can also put poison in your food and kill you one day. They can put poison in you that cannot be detected unless it's specifically looked for in an autopsy, or else it goes undetected because it breaks down after you die. It starts breaking down. So, again, looks and freakiness can go so far. There's got to be a lot more to it than that. You know, every dime that you busted your butt for, do you want her to spend every single dime you have? But because she's beautiful, it's okay. Now you have no place to live and you have to file bankruptcy. But she's beautiful though. I don't have two pennies to rub together, but she is fine. There has to be better criteria than that. Okay. Let's not let the hormones just block all your common sense. You just can't do that. And for some guys, they've been burnt so much that they were forced to look past looks and charm. And she laughs at all my jokes. She makes me feel so masculine. She just makes me feel like $1,000,000. Yeah, but slow your roll. Their job is to make you feel that way. That's what they're supposed to do. And they're good at it, like I said. So, yeah, take your time, slow your roll. There's got to be more than life than two criterias. When you go for a job interview, men, okay, there's more than two criterias you have to meet. They're like, this is the position, this is what we're looking for, these are the requirements. There's never going to be just two requirements. There's going to be multiple. So in your personal life, that needs to apply as well. Okay? And don't rush to marry anybody. I done told y'all that. I done told y'all that. Regardless of the gender, don't be rushing to marry anybody. Because I talked to a guy who, she was perfect for 90 days. Let's see. They knew each other for 3 months and then they got married. And immediately after they got married, he saw the real her. Now you have to file for divorce, or you stay with her because you don't want to have your family and friends go, oh my God, they just got married, they're getting divorced. Oh, wow. I mean, some people don't want to face people's reactions, so they stay to prove a point. I told a guy not long ago, I said, he's in a miserable manipulationship. And I said, don't get her pregnant. If you don't have kids, don't get her pregnant, because it's going to get a lot worse. She's going to use those children as a pawn, as a weapon against you. She's going to poison those children's minds against you. So she'll have the kids hating you and she'll hate you. So if you haven't gotten her pregnant, don't get her pregnant right now. Just don't get her pregnant, period. Because your whole world, your whole life as you knew it is over if you do. So I'm just going to keep it real with you. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what needs to happen, because I know how this works. Women will even go so far as to say, tell the court, when you get a divorce or whatever, He was touching our daughters sexually. If you think that they don't resort to that, they do resort to that because they're desperate to have power. They're desperate to destroy the man. Everything that you saw in the beginning was glitz and glamour and rainbows and cupcakes hanging off of trees. Well, when that disappears, and it will, you're no longer treated like a superstar. You're treated like garbage. You're hated. Everything you say is wrong. Everything you do is wrong. The way you breathe is wrong. The way you walk is wrong. The way you talk is wrong. My God, you do two things that I hate. You breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. I hate it. So, like Lee Hammock said, the mask, which is what they all wear when they're trying to win you over, the mask is very heavy. And this is coming directly from a narcissist. The mask is extremely heavy. So we're really eager to get it off. And when they take that mask off, here comes the real them. The pretense is gone. The glitz and glamour is gone. Here comes the real deal. And your life as you knew it is done. No more two criterias. She does me and she's beautiful. You gotta eliminate that. You gotta add a lot more criteria to that. Like I said, when you go for a job, there's a lot more criteria than just two. You gotta wear a shirt and tie, and you gotta be 6 feet tall. I mean, no. Okay, there's a lot more requirements. So in your personal life, you should have just as many requirements as a job, if not more, because this is a direct hit. Whatever decisions you make in your personal life is a direct hit to your personal life and can destroy you to the point where you can't even function on the job because your brain is spaghetti, because you've been abused and tormented. You can't function. Now you're getting ready to have a mental breakdown, or you've had a mental breakdown. Now you're getting involved with drugs and alcohol, whatever it is, because you're doing escapism. So now your job is on the line, which that person, that thing, they masquerade as people. Those things would be glad if you lost your job and you're on the street begging for money. That would make them so happy they can't stand it, because their mentality is, I got everything I need. So I don't know. It's a damn shame that person's having issues, but I'm doing good. That's a narcissist mentality. So you got to have more than two criteria, man. Okay? All right. And that goes for ladies too. None of this, he's so fine. He's tall and he's fine. And he's got muscles and he smells good and he's got green eyes. Girl, no. I recommend that everybody write down all the criteria that you want in somebody. Height is workable. I mean, if the person comes in a smaller package, a shorter package, you may have to roll with that. But none of the superficial criteria. He's got dimples, or she's beautiful. She's a cheerleader, or whatever. There has to be real requirements. What does this person think religiously? Do they have any type of religion that they grew up with? Do they go to church? How do they feel about finances? Are they a spender or a saver, or do they do a balance of the two? How do they feel about kids? Do they want kids? Do they not want kids? How do you feel about travel? How do you feel about relocating? What kind of things have what went wrong in your previous relationships? Now, for some people, you don't want to tell them what really went wrong, because if they are toxic and they are a narc, they will use those, like Amber did with Johnny. I'm going to take your vulnerabilities and I'm going to take your past situations that didn't work out, and I'm going to beat you in the head with them and remind you how much of a loser you are. So you need to be vague. If you were abused by previous partners, don't advertise that. Don't tell that to new people, because if the person's poisonous, they feel like in the back of their mind, well, shit, since you've been abused before, so what's the difference if I abuse you? You used to it, right? They may not verbalize that, but they think they have a green light to treat you like crap too, because you've been through it before. So you tell your therapist, you tell your best friend, don't tell a potential partner, um, because you don't know if you can trust them. Now, some things you may have to tell them. If you have extreme phobias, if you can't leave your house because you have a phobia, they can't go on a date with you because you can't leave your house. I mean, there's some things you have to reveal, because otherwise they're going to be like, okay, this person's weird, I'm out. um, if you just suffered an immense loss and you're not really emotionally available, you may have to tell them that too. One of my parents just died. So I think the world of you, and I would love to go out with you sometime, but I need to process my emotions right now because this is a real hit to my heart, and so I need some time. So some things you need to explain so that the person doesn't think you're just blowing them off, but have more than two criteria for the ladies and the guys. More than two criteria, okay? Get a notepad, get a legal pad. They're about 8 by 11, 11 by 14. I don't remember. A legal pad. They're long. Um, they write down what criteria you're looking for. Pretty. I want her to be pretty, funny, ambitious, love cats. But those are loving cats. That's kind of superficial. But hey, you may have cats. If the person's severely allergic, that's not going to work out, and you're not going to want to get rid of your cat, right? So you make that. You have to consider that. Um, you know, Someone who's open-minded, someone who's not judgmental. That's a big deal. You may not have a problem with LGB, whatever. I have so many letters. Okay, the LG. I can't even think of it. Anyway, LGBTQK number 5 6 star asterisk. Anyway, you may not have a problem with that community. She may have a real problem with it. That's going to cause a rift. Okay. I would strongly advise that you stay away from hot topics when you're getting to know someone. Hot topics. Stay away from politics. Stay away from abortion. Stay away. The religion thing you need to know, because I've seen people that might be possibly decent, but they're atheists, and I'm going, yeah, that's not going to fly. Sorry, that's just not going to work for me. Or agnostic, where there's a greater power, but you don't believe in God, which is kind of ridiculous. How were you created? Something had to have created you. Even if you take the religious aspect out of it and put a scientific based only, this has to take place and this needs to take place in order for this to happen. So even from a scientific point of view, you're not going to explode out of nowhere and here's a person. Okay, so there's had to be a force bigger and greater than you that created you. I'm not going to go on that roll, but anyway, write down what you want. If you only like someone who's petite with blonde hair, then that's what you need to. But here's the problem with that. We're not going to go on a roll with it, but I'm gonna just go there for just a minute. A lot of times people have a type visually. All right, that's all well and good, but if you're still single, it might be time for you to open up your mind and be more accepting of what wasn't in your original box. This is my criteria: 5'9", blonde hair, blue eyes. That's it. You may have to expand your horizons a little bit, because something that is meant for you, just because it comes in a different package, that doesn't mean it's not something that's great for you. You may have to open up your mind and think past your initial habitual type. Because if your type was so great for you, you would be with someone who's your type. So you may have to expand your mind and, see what other options are out there. But if you write it down, what you're looking for, be reasonable. Don't be ridiculous. Okay. Um, You know, tall, dark, and handsome is silly. The person might be short and average looking. You know what I'm saying? So have reasonable requirements, you know. Um, yeah, have reasonable requirements. Go over them with a friend of yours that has a brain that works, and see what they think of your list, you know. Not to say that everybody has to meet everything on the list, but the ones that are the most important to you, you can put a check mark next to the ones that are non-negotiable. I don't like smokers, for example. So I'm not willing to work with someone who's a smoker. I think that's nasty. I think it's gross. And I don't want secondhand smoke. I have asthma. So I don't feel like inhaling that crap. Just saying. And if I ever were with someone who was a smoker, which I would never do, but if I was, I may have to hold your hand while you're dying of lung cancer one day. That's not fair to me. So, you know what I'm saying? So that may be a deal breaker, you know. Um, yeah. So have an open mind because what you want may not come the way you originally thought it would be, you know, it would arrive. It may come in a totally different package, but it's everything that you're looking for. So have an open mind. All right, you guys take care. Much love. Talk to you later. Bye.